Check, check. Can you guys hear me out there? Is there anyone out there? Yo, what up, Def Switch? How you doing? Trollbot, what's good? There we go. There we go. 1 second. What is up, Mr. Corners? Bam. Okay. No green screen today. Oh man. The camera's kind of on an angle though. I gotta fix that. Okay, that's better. No green screen. I need to figure out a better way to set that up. Oh wait, it's green screening my chair. How is everyone doing this evening? Today we are gonna do a little juggling and a little scratching. How's everyone's weekend? I'm just finding a beat. Where's the juggle beat? There we go. Bam. Kevin Adam. Back with 82 months. How many meters of snow? I can't say that we got that many meters of snow. Honestly, the past few days have been decent. Up until like last Thursday-ish, it was brutal. Everything's getting canceled, blah, blah, blah. Oh my God. Okay, I have to change this green screen. It's tripping me out. We're just we're still tweaking. We're still tweaking. There we go. There we go. Wait, did that change? Did that change a lot of stuff? Wait. Whoa. I'll leave that for now. It changes the brightness and everything. I just see the reloop buttons floating behind my chair. Yeah, we got a lot of snow. We've had a lot of snow this winter, but it is slightly better this weekend. But yeah, still winter. How are you guys doing? Got a new microphone. How's it sound? Any feedbacks on the quality? We got a little upgrade for the stream here, courtesy of Facebook Marketplace. We're now on a SM7B. Hopefully that even further fixes the buzzing issues and stuff. I don't know if it makes a difference, but maybe. Low end sounding better. Nice. I can EQ and tweak stuff too if there's any issues with it. But yeah. Let's see. So today we're gonna do some beat juggling. We're gonna do some chase juggling. Sounds sultry. Okay, perfect. I am starting an ASMR channel as well. So yeah, we'll use that as a plan B. But the plan A is to do some beat juggling. So yeah, I've somewhat recently, I forget how many weeks ago, but we did looping and stuff. We did some ultra basics. So today we're going to jump into chasing. So we're jumping ahead a little bit, and we're going to talk about transitions into chasing and don't leak your hears. I don't know what that means, Def Switch. You're gonna have to, that one got lost in translation. Yeah, so we're gonna do some chasing today. I'm gonna show you a couple different types of chasing. We're gonna talk about just the ideas of chasing a little bit, and yeah, and I think the next couple of masterclasses. Oh, before I forget, no streams next weekend. Because I'm leaving the country. I'll be in the US for some gigs, so no streams. But we'll be back the next weekend for sure. Masterclass, maybe Flipper Fun. But yeah, for the next few masterclasses, I want to do a bit of like basic beat juggle stuff, because as you guys hopefully know by now, we got the beat juggle boot camp popping off. I see that we've got some of our clan in it. However, I don't think we've quite unlocked the Discord deal. Or Discord bonus, I should say. I should say bonus instead of deal, because there's some people who are like waiting to hear the deal. It's not public. You have to be on the Discord. You have to DM me, and then you get a bonus if you're in the Discord only. Yeah, so it's unlocked by signing up and then DMing me. And if we have 5 people, and I think we're at like 3 or maybe 4. But I don't think we quite unlocked it. But anyways, got the big boss beat juggle boot camp coming up. This one's probably going to be the most advanced one that I do this year. So if you're looking for advanced, or like, it's not all going to be advanced. There's going to be some like accessible basic stuff in it. But if you're looking for, some higher level stuff, this is the one. But in the meantime, we're going to do some basic stuff on stream to get people prepared for that. Because I had a few people asking me, like, what sorts of things should you know? Yeah, what sort of things should you know before doing this boot camp? And in general, I'd say like there's lots of like, the more stuff the more you'll get out of it in general. But I'd say the essential stuff is like your looping, your trick mixing, basic stuff, tapping, like some of the basic breakdown ideas, and chasing, and those, and even chasing, I don't know if it's necessarily essential, because we're probably not doing any chase style patterns, or not that many in this bootcamp, but I think chasing is still, it's a fundamental for sure. So that's what we're doing today. You don't know what's up with Discord and bootcamp? In what sense? Death Switch. Okay, there's your spiel. That's why we're diving into the beat juggling, the chasing. And yes, today. How's the volume voice compared to the turntable? That's Death Switch. I just said it. You got to DM me. You got to send me a private message on the Discord so that I can make sure, so I can add you to the list, so that I can count 5 people. And then once we have 5, everyone gets the bonus. It's just a little incentive. Okay. And yes, there will be more beat juggle beats made for our boot camp. So, chasing. The idea of chasing is, well, this is how I look at it. I don't know if this is true, but chasing is like one record is moving around one record is moving through the track, and then the other is sort of chasing it and like copying it. So this is like a basic chase. just like that. So this one is sort of the leader record. So it goes 1, and then this one goes 1, and then 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. So one record is sort of chasing, trying to catch up to the next one. It's behind. That's kind of how I look at it. Another name for chasing, just to clear up some like confusion that always comes up, strobing. Strobing and chasing, same thing, no difference. Strobing and chasing are just, as far as I know, chasing is sort of the East Coast term of it, and strobing is the West Coast. I'd say, like, it's one of those things where like strobing was invented by Shortcut, and he says strobing, but I think chasing is the more common terminology now. So it doesn't really matter as long as you know how to do it. Call it what you want. So getting into basic chasing, we'll start without the transition into it. Someone was asking about that. We'll go back to the transition after. But the first thing when you are learning chasing, this sort of goes hand in hand with trick mixing. I was saying, like I always say, when you're learning to beat juggle, you have to learn to trick mix, because trick mixing is being able to control one record while another beat is playing. And you want to be able to do that on both sides, because if the goal is to beat juggle and to control both records at the same time, if you can't do one record by itself, you have no chance at doing two records. So it's important to be able to sort of master one side at a time. That goes for a lot of beat juggle patterns, I think, and chasing is one of them. So for chasing, the first step, I would say, this is assuming you can loop records. So if you can't do this, if you can't do that, get that down first, just looping one beat. And even a little faster, you should be able to go a little faster for chasing. So I'm doing triplets there, getting a tiny bit of that hi-hat each loop. So that's the speed that you should be able to loop at. But that's even harder than the pattern we're going to do. The pattern we're going to do is the broken chase, or AKA the half strobe. Doesn't matter what you call it again, but you're using one side. One side is traveling or chasing through the record. So this is going to be the side that chases for now. And we're going to go through one beat at a time. So just with one record, this is how it would go. Just like that. Makes sense? So one of the keys with doing any chasing, but the broken chase, is not 70 BPM, but that's close. That's close, Trollbot. We can actually figure it out mathematically. The original tempo is 100 BPM, and the goal tempo that we're going for is 67 BPM. There is some chance that I was going a little bit faster there, but the speed that you want to go to is 2/3 of the original tempo. I wish I could have like a little thing pop up and be like, 2/3 of the original tempo, like a little banner. Anyways. Yeah. So you break it down like that. Now, one detail, very, very important, very subtle, very important. This would be, in my opinion, incorrect. And this is correct. Can anyone tell me why one of those is correct and one is incorrect? we're getting into the nitty gritty details right now, right off the bat. But if you learn it like this, it's gonna help you. Yeah, we got some people who have been around these parts for a little bit. I don't think. Well, maybe there's squish scrapes, but there wasn't supposed to be. We have a few people who have been around here, I believe, so they know the answer. Goldie and Def Switch both basically had it. So essentially, you don't want to pause. I've seen tutorials like this, and they just make me a little angry because it's a bad habit, basically, that you're going to have to break like right away pretty much when you're learning. So you don't want to pause the record like this. If I do it faderless, that is wrong for these. Because if you do it like that, when you go to add fills, there is going to be nothing to fill because it's silence, because you've stopped the record. Fills depend on having these little doubled up notes. And even though you don't hear them when you're doing this, they need to be there for when you do fills later. So how it actually should sound and feel is something like this. So I'm doing a little pullback every beat, okay? So that's really important, just to make sure you have this little pullback. You'll kind of get a feel for how much to pull it back, but that's important. So don't do the up and down pause. Make sure you have a little pullback. That's your pro tip. Okay, so that's what this record is doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Word. Well, it was a good guess. It was a good guess, Goldie. Yeah, because, okay, I'll demonstrate one more thing. But essentially, if I do a double fader with pauses, you hear how the fader's doing nothing because there's silence every time, right? But if I pull it back, so that is why you want the pullback, because then you'll get a double note when you do that. But if you pause it, then you're just moving the fader over silence. So tab pauses are a fundamental important skill, but they do not occur in a chase. These are two different patterns. The only other detail for this side of the record that's very important, because I hear a lot of people not doing this, you always want to hear the note after, like the in-between note. You want to hear that. Like this yeah, and that kick, and that You want to hear those every time. Sometimes, especially when people get going with two records, I'll hear this. And basically it just sounds too choppy, a little rigid, robotic, not very funky. We don't really want that. There's maybe times where you could do that to some good effect, but not for now. So that's the entirety of this record, our leader record. Then the follower, the second record that we go to. So I usually call it the leader record if it's the first track that we hit right on the one. Usually the leader record is the one that's hitting the downbeats that you're counting to, and the follower is playing in between notes and extra spice. So for this one, we're actually just hitting one note over and over. So that one's pretty easy. The only thing is you have to hit the note after. So that that I put there. You have to hit that every time. putting it together. So that is the correct way to do it. Now, I'm going to show you some pitfalls, some things that you want to avoid. First thing that you want to avoid is skipping those in between notes. So that might sound something like this. Okay, you hear how that sounds compared to how it should sound? That's because I'm cutting off the second note. I'm rushing it and putting in like silence between the notes. That's not what you want. You want it to flow smoothly side to side. Don't rush the fader. Don't cut it off. I mean, it's still on beat, but it's instead of being da 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 da, it's like da 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 da. It's like a robot juggle. You know, we already got enough AI in here. I honestly, Trollbot, I've spent years learning it incorrectly from teaching. This is one of the very hard and underrated things with teaching, I think, is I can't just tell someone, you know, this is the wrong way to do it, or this is like sloppy or something like that. I have to learn to imitate the mistakes so that that people can hear the difference, you know, and be able to show them back and forth. It's that's one of the toughest parts when I started teaching that I realized that I had to do. So that is pitfall number 1. So don't cut off those in-between notes. That's important. It'll flow better, sound more musical, more funky if you don't do that. Then the other one is don't go too slow. So if you go too slow, it won't be swung either. It'll actually turn into like more of a different time signature. Kings, Queens, thank you for the kind words. I appreciate it. So, going too slow will sound like this. So when I'm going too slow, it's going da 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 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Getting 2 notes per side, all even, no swing. Again, this one, just like the last incorrect one, musically, there's nothing necessarily wrong with this. It doesn't sound bad. Like it can be, you know, it can stay on beat and everything, but in general, it's not how you want to learn. It's not what you're shooting for right now, because when you have like all the notes hitting on each side, I'm using my fingers to demonstrate. If you do this style of chase, they'll all be lining up and overlapping. Like you're pushing everything back by exactly like one beat, basically. So then everything's overlapping. So again, when you start doing fills and that, it's not going to do anything. You're not going to hit any of the notes, because the way that you're supposed to chase, the proper way, actually it adds swing and it kind of offsets all the notes. So they're like meshed between each other while they're playing, so that all of a sudden when you're moving the fader, you're going to get these double notes in there. So for the purposes of more advanced techniques, you want to make sure that you're swinging it properly and you're not doing it straight. Or in this case, doing it straight is also doing it too slow. So this would be about 50% the original tempo when you're getting this sound. So this is around 50 BPM. But we want it swung at 67% of the original tempo. So that we can add in those doubles and stuff when we want. So cutting out the in-between note, that's pitfall number 1. Going too slow, pitfall number 2. Going too fast, that's pitfall number 3. This one is a little easier to hear because this one doesn't really sound that musical. So this one, when I hear this, the issues with it, one is it does cut out the in-between note. Like you rush it so much that you just don't even get the in-between. So you also don't get that swing. Also just like some of the notes that do hit, if you do get a bit of the hi-hat or something, they don't quite sound on beat. Like when you do it properly, everything like meshes together and flows and sounds like a coherent beat altogether. All the in-between notes will still work. There's mathematical reasons why that works, and why this became a breakdown style. But when you're rushing it and you're doing it like 10% faster than that or something, all of a sudden the notes don't really fit together and it just sounds a little bit like janky and too quick. So yeah, those are the things to avoid. So that's all the broken chase. Now, if you've gotten to this point in your practicing, you're not done yet, because with many beat juggle things, almost all beat juggle things, especially fundamentals, you need to be able to do it on the other side as well. It's very, very important, especially since our more short-term goal with learning the broken chase is to graduate to the chase. Even though the broken chase is really powerful, and I would say I broken chase way more than I chase. Broken chase is super underrated and is probably stronger than chase. But we also want to chase and we want to get there. So you have to be able to broken chase on both sides. Just like that. It's the exact same on both sides, so you don't have to worry about it. Don't worry about switching sides and switching which side you're broken chasing on or anything like that. Too advanced for now. Just focus on getting really strong at broken chasing on both sides. One thing to make it even tougher is don't watch your chasing side at all. So this side, when you're broken chasing, you should, your leader side, whichever side you started on, you should be able to do that blindfolded. So this part of it, even if you're doing it like by itself, like I was just there, or in the full broken chase, you should never have to look at that record eventually. Like when you're first learning, sure, try and pay attention to where the notes are, but it is a pure muscle memory thing, and it'll help you a ton if you can do that without looking and hit every single note. the sort of challenge I always give people is try to do a full beat, like a full instrumental, and not have to like restart or not have to like find the beat again or something, but just try and broken chase from start to finish in a full instrumental. You don't have to do it every day, but just like, you want to get to that point once in your life where you can just like broken chase throughout the entire beat. And then, yeah, that's a pretty good indicator that you're comfortable enough with the muscle memory of the broken chase. And again, should be able to do that on both sides. So the chasing part should just be pure muscle memory, no eyes. The looping part, I would watch that still. Pretty much anytime you have to backspin to an exact point. When you do that, you do have to look, or I would say like, yeah, looping records you generally want to watch. But if you're not backspinning, if you're chasing, you don't have to. Word, Rob Swift invented a bunch of the stuff we do. So obviously he is a very good teacher to learn any beat juggling stuff from. Let's see. Okay, so we got the broken chase. We'll just assume everyone's practiced it and learned it and they're amazing at it. Now, the next step is to do the full chase. Now, the full chase is technically not that much harder. Actually, technically, it's probably easier than the broken chase. Looping is harder than the chase part because the chase part is just like a little baby pullback. But it has its own challenges because you don't get like a set spot to watch. Your home base is gone now. You don't get to like pay attention to a specific spot. So for that, basically, yeah, to do the full chase, whatever you hit on this side, you're going to do the exact same on this side. Not at that speed. You want to do it in the proper time, but 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. This is what I call the basic chase, or it's just the most straightforward one, the easiest. And if you can broken chase on both sides with like blindfolded, this shouldn't be that big of a step. So that's why it's important to sort of spend time on the fundamentals before just jumping in the deep end. You want to make sure that you can broken chase on both sides. Then your muscle memory should be pretty good. And then you want to go copy like one side with the other side. But usually what's going to happen when you're learning is you basically will lose it and it'll just like, it'll become nonsense and it won't sound very good. So you have to restart. So this is what I would say. If you're trying to learn how to chase, like instead of just like doing it and like doing it sloppy and beating your head against the wall, or just like some people learn it sloppy and then just like perform it that way too. That's probably the worst option. But instead of doing that, kind of set like distances to try and get to. So right off the bat, maybe just like try to get through the full bar, get to the one of the next bar. And then go back. Yeah. Keep doing that. And then try to do that twice as long. And then do that a bunch of times. Then double it again. And keep trying to like get to a certain point that you can hit consistently. What's probably going to happen is, even hitting 4 in a row might be a little bit tough, but you just keep doing it, and then eventually you can do 4. And then 8, it might start to drift off, and then you just keep doing that and just sort of like treat it as like every 4, 8, 16, 32, every like distance that you're chasing, That's sort of like a level to beat. So you just want to start with the first level, try and beat that one, get really comfortable with it. And the better you get at doing 4 beats of chasing, the easier 8 beats will be. Because if you can do 4 perfect, then another 4 is not much more. And then, yeah, it just kind of goes from there. You can start slower. I wouldn't practice too slow though. I would say probably like 90 BPM might be the slowest that I'd practice, because I mentioned this in the past, but the slower that you juggle, the slower that your breakdown tempo becomes, and sometimes it just becomes so slow that it's hard to feel. It's hard to juggle like under 50 BPM and stuff. So it's better to just like do what I said, stick around 90 and just try and get a little bit further in the beat. Once you get that down, the next step is to go to the other record and do the same thing. Do your chase, but we're going to start on the other side. This isn't like a huge thing. It shouldn't be too hard, but it is good to keep balance with this stuff again, and be able to do it on both sides. Because certain patterns, once you create beat juggles, you're not always going to be able to choose which record a certain pattern starts on and which one it finishes on. You might have to mix it up. So yeah. So also learn it on your opposite side. And then once you have it down on both sides, the next step after that, blindfolded chase. This is one of my favorite things to give to people, because I think it's just the true test of if you can actually chase, or if you're like watching the waveforms or watching the stickers or any of that nonsense. No, you can't do that anymore. You got blindfold yourself like some Karate Kid stuff, some old kung fu movie. Turn all the lights off, and it's just you and the beat, and you just got to practice chasing until you become one with the beat, and you can just chase without having to look at anything. It's just you, the beat, and your ears and your hands. So that's like the ultimate goal with the basic chase. Are you guys with me so far? Is the mic still sounding all right? Does it sound better than the previous mic, or no difference at all? I mean, that's up to you, Trollbot. That's your own choice, I suppose. If it helps, it helps. But I don't know. You might not want to practice like that, and then you might have to do that at shows and battles, and then you'll get disqualified or probably arrested. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. Okay. So we have the basic chase, and then the next chase, and this one is, I would say, the most common, the one that you hear the most. This one sounds a little more musical. And this one is the foundation for tripling or fills when chasing. I call it the offset chase. I don't know if there's a true name for it or a common name other than that, but essentially, instead of starting both on the one, we're going to offset the records, and we're actually going to start the follower record one note later. So we're starting on the upbeat. 1, A, 2. We're starting on the A. This is the downbeats. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the upbeats. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you're always going to hit an upbeat on this side. If I do it just by itself. See how you're always hearing the note between the downbeats on this side. That's the one that I'm actively dropping. So we're going to hit the downbeats here, the upbeats here. And again, I would start with just trying to get the first like 4 beats of it. Just like that. So with this one, you'll notice that it actually doubles every sound. 1, a, 2, 2, a, 3, 4. I think that's why this is the more common one. It just sounds like a cool effect when you're doubling everything. Just like that. So that's the offset chase. Build it up the same way as recommending with the chase. Start with 4 beats, 8 beats, 16 beats, etc. Starting on one side. Then do it on the other side, of course. I'll do it, make sure I can. Don't do all the fancy fills. I'm just doing that just because it feels cool. But when you're learning it, don't do any of the fills. The fills. Let me see. You're not allowed to do fills until you can do both sides of the offset chase like this. Everything up until this that I've covered today. So how many drills is that? Probably like 8. So both sides of the broken chase, and then both sides of the broken chase, not the broken chase, the offset chase, both sides of the offset chase and both sides of the offset chase blindfolded. So once you can blindfold chase through a whole beat, regular chase starting on either side, and then offset chase starting on either side, then you're allowed to try doing fills. Still probably not the very next thing I would recommend, but if you can't do all that other stuff, then fills is just going to be, they're not going to sound very good. Nope, Trollbot, don't even say that. Nope. That's what people tried to say last time. No, all of the stuff that I've heard and learned, strobe and chase are just the exact same word. They're synonyms. There's no difference. So a lot of people try and attribute like a difference between the two, but it's literally, back before the internet and all this, like people were inventing techniques and styles in different places in the world at the same time and called them different things. It still happens to this day, even with the internet and everything. You get people all calling similar scratches different things, and it is what it is. But yeah, strobe and chase are the same thing. So that's your entirety of learning how to chase from the ground up. Okay, that's like pretty much every step, I would say. Any questions so far? Okay, so there's one super important thing that came up, and that was essentially going into and out of the chase, the transitions. Oh, 1 second. What did Rob call his? I think I'm pretty sure they call it the chase. I'm pretty sure that's the origin of it, is that the East Coast, they called it chasing. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I know what you're saying. The only difference between them, but that's literally the whole idea, right? That's what a chase is, that it's a way, like this is a style of chasing, but there's more advanced chases and more modern chases now. And the idea of chasing in general is that you're beat juggling without backspinning and you're just continuing through the track. So more than just like this specific swung chase style, the concept of chasing is juggling through a song continuously rather than backspinning. Yeah. If you want a recent example, Fumi's Stronger Juggle from his world-winning set, like its current world champion set. He did a double time chase. That's pretty dope. And yeah. Okay, so transitioning. I'm going to keep it pretty simple and straightforward. There's many ways of transitioning. You can get creative with it. The best thing that you can possibly do to learn transitions and get more ideas in your brain for doing them is to watch and study classic juggles and watch the transitions. Watch the moment or the section of bars where they go from the original tempo to their chase. So, and specifically pay attention to like the great jugglers and their classic juggles. So don't just throw on like DMC 1995 and find some like Bush League dude who isn't really that good. Don't watch what he's doing. Like, you want to make sure that you're studying like the good quality juggles and jugglers. So typically for the good quality jugglers, you're not going to see them do this. If they go to do a chase, you're not going to see them do this. Right? So when I just transitioned into a chase there, nobody in the chat or the world, not even me, nobody could tell that I was going into a chase. You know, nobody could tell like, oh, I was about to break it down. It's just all of a sudden it's the original speed. Oh, now it's a different speed. That's not a good transition. That's not how you want to do it. And you're not going to see very many good beat jugglers do that in their routines. There's no like, oh, I was trying to surprise them or something. You can't do that. You have to ease people into it and kind of foreshadow that you're about to do something cool. So, a way of transitioning tempos, probably the most straightforward way, I would say, is I like to call it a tempo reset. I used to call it a tempo erase, but I think tempo reset is better. So tempo reset transition. It's basically when you are kind of juggling at the original tempo, and then you essentially just stop and kind of reset the tempo and then start a new tempo. Something I like to tell people to try and imagine is if you're juggling in front of people, and this will actually happen if you do juggle in front of people, and they're like nodding their head to the juggle, and then you stop, and then they stop nodding their head, and then you start at the new tempo, and they'll nod their head to that tempo. If you don't do a transition, you'd have the people like nodding their head, and then all of a sudden it switches, and like you're like giving them whiplash and stuff. They're going to be all different speeds. The crowd, you're going to lose some people, but you want to ideally have like the whole crowd like nodding their head at the same speed. So let me see. The most straightforward way, like I said, reset the tempo. So just stop, introduce a new tempo. So a basic example. You got it? I'll do it again. So now, even if there's people who have had a lobotomy in the crowd or something, they should be able to follow along with that. Like you're juggling at like a normal speed. I was trying to even indicate with my normal speed patterns that something was about to change, but then you break it, and then this is a very important part. You don't just stop and then go straight into the new juggle. You do a baby scratch that is swung, and specifically, whenever you do a baby scratch into a new tempo, your baby scratch should be that tempo, not the tempo you came from. Because the goal of the baby scratch is a very important part. You're trying to sort of indicate to people, oh, I'm switching it up right now. And you give them 4 beats to catch up to it before you hit them with the actual beat. So I will show you an incorrect way. Again. I'll do it in context. It's nonsense. Just like, baby scratching like way too fast. It's like, why are you even doing that baby scratch? It doesn't have anything to do with breakdown tempo. So you can't just do a straight baby scratch. It has to be swung. So swung baby scratch, you sort of pause after the forward and then do back forward. So da 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 boom. Okay, gotta swing it. Ain't no saying if it ain't got that swing. So swing the baby scratch. I'll do it again. Just like that. Makes sense? So, stop the tempo. You don't actually have to do like a break like I'm doing there. You could even just close the fader. You could echo it out if you're feeling spicy. You could fade it out. Something like that. Here, let me try that one. Accidentally turned the turntable off. Okay, let me do it without hitting the off button. Yeah, there's a cooler, more spicy example, I guess. Yeah, that's the idea. Just stop, take a break, take a breath, restart the new tempo. Okay. Supalupicus, did you miss all of the broken chasing stuff that I did all before this? Is that why you're saying that? Just if you just got here and there was no broken chase, if you missed all of that, then you're too far behind. But let me know. Okay. Yeah, so in short, just a short recap for you. Broken chasing absolutely comes first. It is like this is what I'd say is like sometimes there is stuff that yes is technically a more sophisticated coordination, but it's more straightforward to learn, I guess. Like when you have a place that you can backspin to, like that's more straightforward to be able to backspin it to the same place over and over. Whereas having two records that are both moving at the same time and keeping track of the placement, that's the more difficult part than the actual the actual technique of it. Yeah, like sometimes it's more the there's something like conceptual that makes it more difficult, but like 100,000,000% chasing is harder, even though maybe not technically, but it is more difficult for people to learn than a broken chase is. A broken chase enables you to learn how to chase on one side while only having to loop on the other side. And if you're learning any chasing, you'll absolutely have down looping already. So yeah. DJ Kobe, for such questions, email lessons@vec.com. It pops up a bunch on here, but I do one-on-one lessons, yes. And I have many different packages. If you are thinking of doing it though, I would probably jump in kind of soon. Things are getting busy. There will be more on that in the future, but anyways, okay. We have the tempo erase transition. And then there's a few other ways to transition into it. Another way is to do loops. A regular 1-beat loop, but then introduce one element of the breakdown before you introduce the whole thing. So in this case, you can introduce triplets before you introduce the new tempo. Because the chase juggle is triplets of the original tempo. So you'll hear what I mean. But basically you can start looping straight 1 beat, and then loop in triplets, and then go into your breakdown. I went in, I just was making up my own chase there apparently. I'll do it again. So you hear how that worked? It kind of smooths it over where I go. Do, and then you go into the new one. That one's kind of nice because it works because triplets work both with the original tempo and the breakdown tempo. So yeah, that's another style of transition. Another one would be sometimes you can basically do a pattern over and over, and then start adding an element to it. So adding like the tempo change. So something like this. Like that. Let me find. Yeah, I'll do it on this part of the beat. This will make it sound a bit more clear. So essentially, I'm just looping this boom bam. And then I start tapping the same notes. So you took like that, those 2 notes at regular speed and 2 notes at the new tempo, and then go in the chase. Just like that. Okay. Going to a different part of the beat again, just for this one. So this one also is an option. This is one, I just took it from Babu's Blind Alley. He had a really good transition where he kind of combines the triplet thing with sort of a, I don't know, it's sort of like a manual pitch bend. I really like this one, but this is a bit more of a spicy transition, but goes something like this. I'll do it again. So basically, Babu kind of like slowly like pitches it or like pulls it back, so it's like. So he gets into a triplet loop first. And then pulls it back in a way that kind of maintains that triplet. And then taps into the juggle. So he's sort of going from the triplet loop, like the other transition I showed, but then sort of like doing this drag to further kind of smooth over the transition to the new tempo. And then gives it this pickup note, 1 and bam, into the juggle. Just like that. So there are your transition options. That's how, this isn't the Blind Alley Juggle, but that's his transition into the breakdown. Yeah. If you watch, that's what I said right at the beginning. The best way to learn transitions, because they're so specific and there's realistically like so many ways you could transition, especially with effects and features now. You can get so spicy with it. So yeah, the best thing is just to see how other people did it, like what worked. And always ask yourself, like, was that a good transition? Was that smooth? Or was that not so smooth? Why was it smooth? Why was it not smooth? You know, that's how you eventually get to the point where you can create your own transitions. Like, you don't always have to have seen one before you do it. But when you're first doing it, it's good to build up this like encyclopedia of options, and then then you have guidelines rather than completely inventing the wheel every time. So that's it. And then transitioning out of a chase, this one's even more straightforward. Honestly, there's so few options. You can, again, watch some people. Maybe there's some spicier options, but this is like the best one by far. Something like that. Just like a pause and release it. Or maybe a slightly smoother version of that, but still same idea. So just tapping out the last few beats. Taps and chases are the exact same tempo, so you can do that. You can tap longer. What else? So again, it's basically an extension of the tempo reset transition. You pause, take a breath. That's important. So don't just go. Don't just do that. You want to go. Yeah. Always reset the tempo when you're changing tempos. Or maybe you don't always have to reset it, but you have to have like a way of going into the next tempo. You always need a transition, but usually a tempo reset is very straightforward. And then the other variations that I mentioned are sort of like a I don't know, a tempo bend. We're kind of bending the tempo into the new one that we're going for. But yeah. Those are my options and advice. How do you guys feel about that? That's a pretty I think that's a pretty like robust little chase, broken chase, like transitions. We got everything in there. Yeah. So, like I said at the beginning, if you are planning on that right there, if you're planning on getting into the Beat Juggle Bootcamp, you still have like over 3 weeks. So, run through all this. Use this as like this masterclass would be a good kind of either refresher or give you some fundamentals, some ideas before jumping into that. It's going to be different stuff, so it's not like everything depends on, it doesn't build on this stuff. There's no swing patterns actually at all. There's no swing patterns in the new Beat Juggle Bootcamp, so nothing builds directly off of it, but it's very good to have fundamentals before jumping into it. Because I'll have, as the people who just did my Scratch Bootcamp know, like there will be some accessible, like more basic stuff that most people can do. There will be that, but then there's always going to be some stuff that's like pretty high level. And yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Any questions on chasing? I like how this new mic sounds. I can hear my own voice in the speakers, and it's like, is it feeding back for you guys? Hopefully not. My voice sounds lower now, or deeper. We're good. Nice. What do you think, Kevin, about the SM7B? There we go. Kevin Adam approved. That's right. Yeah, it's level up. I've been tweaking a lot of the setup. So this is the time to do it. Upgrading little things here and there. Any other recommendations to upgrade, you guys can let me know. We'll do it now before we get into the flip or flop. Can you do a chase with just one record? Well, I mean, I was kind of showing sort of examples of doing that, right? Like doing the one half of the chase just with one record. And the longer answer, or sorry, the shortest answer, I guess, is that yeah, you can chase with one record. There's one record chases. I actually covered that in the Scratch Bootcamp. One record chase juggles. Can I give an example of doing it with a modern song? I can, not today, but if you're in the Discord, somebody dropped the Discord link for Kobe. He's on YouTube, so if somebody could do that. If you're in the Discord, you can maybe give some example songs. Yeah, because long story short, I don't listen to Drake or Sexy Red. That's not my stuff. Yeah, but if you give me a track that is between 90 and 100 BPM, then yes, I can do it. Probably give some options though, because this is a more advanced topic. It'll take longer, but not every single song in a certain tempo is good for chasing. There's certain things I look for certain tracks and stuff, but yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? Is Dochi is that modern enough for us? Here we go.
What's up, Dochi?
There we go. Low file. Oh man, you're gonna like this. Actually, the beat samples "Fist of the White Lotus" by Paul Nice. That's the one you're thinking of. So, yeah, it samples "Fist of the White Lotus" beat on that battle record, and yeah, and I watched a video, and so they actually ended up interpolating like the stab, but because they couldn't clear it. They're like, we were having trouble like getting a hold of the original artist, and I was like, it's because he's not around anymore. Paul Nice passed away last year, I believe. Probably just before this track, which is like unfortunate. Yeah. That's exactly, Supa. Yes, it's Fist of the White Lotus. Yeah. That's the original sample, but like I said, they did end up interpolating it so it's not the exact one, but you can hear the similarity. But it's funny. Yeah. And yeah, I'm 99% sure that the producer like didn't know, like they don't know that that's what they sampled. They're just like, "Oh, I found this like this," they're like just digging or something, or and yeah. Yeah, Fist of the White Lotus. It's like one of the most classic. There's not too many scratch beats that like have a name. Like you a lot of the like classic ones that I think of are like, oh, like the name of the record. There's not too many that have a title, but this one is I'd say, yeah, it's so classic that, yeah, Fist of the White Lotus. It's got its own name. Paul Nice. I believe his first battle record, Five Fingers of Death, Volume 1, I think. I think there's 5 of them. But yeah, beast of a producer. Rest in peace. But yeah, there you go. There's a little bonus knowledge, a little bonus lore on that one. Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny cuz I think, so many scratch nerds, when we heard that beat, we're like, that sounds like a scratch beat, or like, we like, I thought the exact same thing. And and I was like, oh man, like, and I started going down the hole because I'm like, like, this can't be a coincidence. And yeah, I found like a breakdown or interview or something. And yeah, and that's it. It is indeed Fist the White Lotus. Yeah. Anyways, man, I'm running out of jam, so I'm gonna end this one here. I know I said I was gonna do tears. We're gonna have to postpone the tear one, because I feel like we hit the we hit all the juggle and chase stuff very concisely. I I think I think this is a good one to just cap it there, because it's very, yeah, I stayed on topic this time. Everything was very in the correct order in that, so this will be a good reference for our chasers to get ready for the Beat Juggle Bootcamp. And I'm away next week. That's right. So no streams this coming weekend, but I will be back the next weekend. Yeah, and I'll keep you in the loop about the streams on that weekend. But yeah, I am in the US of A, Baltimore, for a few days. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't sleep on the Beat Juggle Bootcamp. Get in it right now, especially after today's stream. Yeah, it should be fun. I'm working on it, adding stuff to it right now as we speak. And drive safe. I'm not driving to Baltimore in the winter. Heck no. I am flying. So yeah. So fly safe, I guess. I'll post my airline in the Discord so you guys can track me, make sure it doesn't crash. When am I visiting Miami? Like, do you got a couch right now? I'll visit for the rest of winter. Yeah, I'll just go Baltimore to Miami. Can't be too far, right? I'm halfway there. Yeah, it's not, you don't have to twist my arm. I'm out of here. I'm sick of this snow. We're gonna raid, before I forget. Let's raid Jovian. Jovian, one of the original Twitch DJs. Does some pretty crazy like 4-deck mashup stuff. He's dope. Jump in that raid. Jump in the Discord, that's right. We're gonna stay on Vet's couch and then go to Ultra. Sounds like a Miami weekend. All right. You guys have a good week, and we'll see you in, I guess, 2 weeks. Peace out, everyone. I'm going to hit the raid button.